Hey everyone, welcome back to CryptoCache. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having an amazing day. We're going to take a quick look at Sandbox, and just before we do, quick peek at Bitcoin because I think it's important for you to know what's going on here. Bitcoin is selling off pretty hard today. We're close to about a 4%, 4.5% decrease. There's tremendous amount of low volume in the past few trading days, so it's leading to a lot of weakness in Bitcoin. This last push was kind of just a cry for help. It got rejected off 65,000. Or 66 rather, and the price has been trailing ever since. So my speculation is we're going to see the price continue to slowly bleed over the next couple of days. This might be kind of a tumultuous week, but be prepared for that, be ready. We're underneath the 50-day simple moving average, but the 200 might get tested soon. So we'll see what happens with that. Hopefully that could be our saving grace, but we'll see what 63,000 has to offer us as far as a support level. It has proven to be a decent support here in the recent past. So that is kind of where we're at for that. Now let's go ahead and take a look at Sandbox. Oh, and just before we do, I am not a financial advisor. This is for educational purposes only. You should always do your own research. And just note that I have a trading community designed to help you become better traders, right? Simply put, I share all my signals that I take, or all my trades I take rather, as signals. So you can just one-click follow if you want. So you can kind of get the, the feel for a day in life of a trader, because this is my full-time job, right? So check that out in your own time. Now, Sandbox here, taking a look at this. Simply put, we are attempting to retrace down to $2.67. So as we can see, we had 3 pretty strong days, followed by kind of an almost doji candle, and here today a bit of a retracement. And I got news for you. Unfortunately, Sandbox is very susceptible to Bitcoin sell-offs, so just keep that in mind. We can see November 10th here as a pretty significant decrease. We had, about 25% play in a 24-hour period for Sandbox on the 10th, right? So that's a bit more exaggerated than a 10% decrease for Bitcoin. So just know that there's always a knee-jerk reaction that happens with these type of coins that are overextended, for lack of better terms, because again, this thing jumped up about 500% or something crazy. Okay, only 320% in about, under a week's time, like 5 or 6 trading days. So just keep that in mind. It's still discovering its own price, figuring things out. And for right now, it's definitely more so on the bearish side than the bullish side, but we'll look at the indicators to identify that. Here's indicator number 1, RSI is under 70. It got rejected off 70 here. So you can kind of see that the price action is essentially considered, it's not necessarily bearish. It just means that we're no longer bullish, if that makes sense. It's kind of almost neutral in a way. It's not a bad indication at all. It just is what it is. So looking at here at the 4-hour chart here, quick peek, we're bouncing off 50 or essentially cutting into 50. We haven't bounced yet. But this is not a great sign because that does imply we have bearish, kind of more bearish tendencies, bearish qualities on the short term, more so the micro rather than macro. I mean, 4-hour chart's kind of a bit of both, right? It's not necessarily a small time frame or a large time frame, but kind of right in smack dab in the middle, we have this indecision where the price is effectively losing that support at 50. The only thing we have holding us up is $2.67 is a previous support level based on Fibonacci retracement lines, but furthermore, also the 50-day simple moving average trailing behind. So this could be our saving grace. The price could essentially just stop right at 267, but just be prepared. If Bitcoin dips down to say sub 63,000, we can expect Sandbox to be in the lower tier here, effectively in the bearish community, right? So the bullpen or whatever term you want to use. This doghouse, I don't know, it's going to be down there if that were to happen. We're not there yet, but it's trending that way, if that makes any sense, right? So that's kind of where we're at there. Let's look at the 1-hour chart. We're under the cloud, which is considered a bearish quality, or more so just important to recognize more so a sellish, a selling point, right? It's a sell signal. When it's above, buy signal, right? So you can kind of see back here, broke above the cloud, took off. Right here, tried to break over the cloud, but it broke into a resistance. That's never a good thing. So we essentially just null and void that. But right here, it is essentially considered bearish. It's moving down, and there's a chance that this support level could hold. But if it doesn't, it'll be trending down closer to this range here, at least as a starting point. It may even do. It may even go a little bit lower, but we'll bridge that gap when we get there. I plan to cover some of these major coins as I have been day in, day out to make sure we get kind of good perspective on that. But we can see that Sandbox is definitely influenced by this recent sell-off in Bitcoin. That's right when Bitcoin started selling off at basically 5 a.m. Pacific. So just know that. So that's where we're at here for Sandbox. Let's take a look at TD sequential. We are getting closer to a reset, it looks like. Yeah, so we could potentially see another 9 to 10 hours of bearish divergence. So again, there's on the small time frame, right? We've got some significantly bearish qualities. Large time frame, it's more neutral / bullish. So to me, I don't think, Sandbox is going to you know, drop down to anything under $1, right? That's not likely. I think $1.40 would be the absolute lowest. However, if Bitcoin were to sell off like it did before, we can expect to see something quite like this, only right here, right? So hypothetically, we could very well see $2.20 tested if Bitcoin drops sub 63,000. That's just my speculation. If it does, great, we'll figure it out. If not, even better, so we can keep our average high. I would consider dollar cost averaging as the price goes lower. Just keep adding a little bit more to your position, because I do think big picture Sandbox still has tremendous potential. I do think we'll still break $3.44 eventually soon. It's just right now this week it's kind of a little choppy. That's just my personal opinion. So hopefully you find this beneficial. If you do, great, like, subscribe, and check out my Patreon community too if you would like to have signals for every single trade that I take and also learn to become a better trader. Awesome experience. Check that out in your own time. Thank you so much to my patrons also for showing your support. You're amazing. You make my life better just in general. It's great to be able to interact with you. So thank you so much as well for all your requests, all your support, and just being amazing people in general. Okay. Thanks again. Appreciate you. We'll look forward to seeing you all in the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Take care.